Support for Kalamazoo Lively Arts is provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation, helping to build and enrich the cultural life of Greater Kalamazoo.
I'm John Koch, and welcome to Kalamazoo Lively Arts, the show that takes you inside Kalamazoo's vibrant creative community and explores the people who breathe life into the arts. On today's show, we meet a well-known artist and published poet, Dane Hudson. Then get hands-on with potter Michael Kifer. But first, we sit down with traditional singer Ginny Shilliday at a rehearsal for Hazeltree Consort, who she regularly performs with. Let's take a look at this unique music group found here in Kalamazoo.
Oh, who will shoe my bonny feet, and who will glove my hand? Who will kiss my rosy cheeks when you're in a far-off land? Your pa will shoe your bonny feet, your ma will glove your hand, and I will kiss your rosy cheeks when I come back again.
So your art is your voice. Let's talk about that. When did you know you could sing pretty good?
Well, the story is that I was singing in the crib, and I can't vouch for that. I don't remember that. But I heard that when the singing stopped, they knew, oh, the baby's asleep. So.
Would you have come maybe from parents who might have wanted their baby to sing?
Well, both my parents were very musical. My mother studied piano for about 8 years, and she is a good singer, and my father was a concert violinist. So I grew up in a home where music was taken seriously and well supported.
We begin to recognize a talent. Did you study this music?
I did. I mean, I always loved singing, and I can remember writing down in notebooks, you know, lyrics to songs that I just loved, that I'd heard that I loved. And some of them were old songs, which is what I kind of specialize in now. Very, very old songs, not pop songs, you know, the way teenagers will copy the lyrics of pop songs, but very old songs. She met with a rank robber and all of his company. Are you the queen of heaven, he cried, come to pardon all.
Right, I guess I'll call you Maestra, or Maestro. You're gonna teach me how to do what you do?
Sure, okay. This is the two sisters. It's easy, just sing there are several repeated lines, just sing along.
Okay, you go first?
Sure.
Here we go.
There were two sisters side by side, sing I dum, sing I day. There were two sisters side by side, the boys are bound for me.
Okay, let's stop there.
Okay.
So you want me to sing the sing I dum? Okay, let's try that.
Everything that's bold and italicized, you sing that part.
Right, let's start over here.
As long as you have the melody in your head.
Okay, so I'll sing along with you on this one.
Okay.
Okay. So where do you sing?
I sing mostly with Hazeltree, and we do concerts, we do weddings, we do anniversaries, we do private house concerts. For example, if you wanted to have a Christmas party and to do something kind of different, you might invite 20 to 50 of your friends and ask us to come and give a concert for your friends in your living room. Very intimate exchange with the audience, and then later we show them how the instruments are played and what they are, and there's a chance for question and answer. You'd be surprised how approachable traditional music is.
What's traditional music?
Well, when I say traditional, you might get different answers depending on who you ask, but traditional music is kind of a genre of folk music, I suppose. It's songs that go back hundreds of years. Like some of the oldest ballads were first written down in the 13th century. There are songs that don't have a known composer exactly. They just sort of arose out of the sensus communis of the population. So, and you'll find variants of them in different countries. Like a Scottish ballad, like there's a very famous one, The Two Sisters. And it's this terrible, awful story about an older sister and a younger sister, and the same man courts them both, and they both like the same fellow.
This is sounding soap opera-ish.
Yes, it is. Well, that's life. He tends to favor the younger sister. So the older sister plots a way to kill her younger sister to have the suitor for herself. The younger sister's body, she's drowned. In all the stories, she's drowned. She's pushed into deep water and she drowns, and she begs her sister to save her, and she doesn't do it. So the body washes downstream. It comes, it's a bit gruesome, but it comes on shore eventually, and either a harper or a fiddler, depending on the variant, finds her and turns the young girl's body into a harp, and uses her long yellow hair as the harp strings and her breastbone as the part of the harp, and travels around with her in the land performing. Of course, now meanwhile, this family has no idea what happened to the younger daughter. Eventually, the harp or the fiddle shows up in the grand hall where the parents in the family live. And the instrument all by itself begins to play and sing the song of how it was murdered. And the older sister is found out to be the murderer. So it's quite a story. Spoke his ill mother as mean as she could be. You're not the last of the sing-I-dum. You want to start at the beginning?
Start right there.
Okay.
There were two sisters.
There were two sisters side by side, sing-I-dum, sing-I-day. There were two sisters side by side, the boys are bound for me. There were two sisters side by side, the eldest for young Johnny cried, I'll be true unto my love if he'll be true to me.
Wait, let me read that. I'll be true until my love if he'll be true to me. I like that. All right.
You're natural.
All right, what's next?
Johnny bought the youngest a beaver hat, sing-I-dum, sing-I-day. Johnny bought the youngest a beaver hat, the boys are bound for me. Johnny bought the youngest a beaver hat, the eldest didn't think much of that. I'll be true unto my love if he'll be true to me.
Well, how was that?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Good.
did great. You're
All right, thank you very much. Is storytelling part of what Hazeltree is about?
I think it is. This is the collection of Francis Child, who was a great song collector, mid-19th century. It's the trad singer's Bible, or the trad musician's Bible. And you can look, and it's really curious, like if I were to show it to you, you would suddenly realize, gee, looking at this, I can't actually read those words, and it's because the written version is actually from the 13th century. So the words that you're reading are Middle English, so some of them are terribly old.
Okay, whew. Hey, what did we just do?
Well, when we were talking about the older sister killing off the younger sister, this is a contemporary, blessedly shorter version of that ballad.
Wow. There were two sisters side by side. What does this mean?
Sing-I-dum, sing-I-day. It's a form of lilting, of mouth music that is filler for the verses. You do a little like shooby-dooby-doo, that's kind of the old version of that, to fill in.
And then the theme, I'll be true unto my love
if he'll be true to me. And we find out, and if he won't, what happens?
Ooh. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, thank you.
Dana, Great Dane Hudson, makes an impact in Kalamazoo in a variety of ways. When she's not working with youth, you might just get lucky and catch her performing at an open mic night or special event. Let's listen in as she discusses what moves her to connect and to write.
Poetry and spoken word are two very similar yet separate terms. Poetry paints beautiful portraits on pages, but when these words are spoken, they give each image the life it deserves. So to say that spoken word is poetry is only partially right. These words are not meant for isolation in silent spaces. These words are meant to be heard with or without a mic. Each word meant to be said, these holy testimonies, this daily bread. So come get fed with words we levitate from pages, fire we unshackle, heat that we release from cages. We call it freedom. Come get you some.
So when you're on stage and you're pouring it all out, what's that like for you to perform and be in front of an audience? It would seem like it would be vulnerable.
It is vulnerable. It's extremely vulnerable. I enjoy it though. I think it's important for other people to see that type of vulnerability. I think that the way our world is set up is it's meant to stifle that. You're not supposed to be open. You're not supposed to be honest. You're not supposed to talk about what's bothering you or what trauma you've been through. Those things, the trauma, the oppression, all those things are meant to silence you. And so for me, it's freedom. For me to get up on a stage and look out into the audience and make eye contact with people and know that what I have to say may change someone's life.
From these raw artists with their souls on display, hearts bare, reciting poetic prayers, speaking life into existence, the themes remain consistent: faith, love, hope. Finding healing and finding meaning, speaking words soaked with hurt. So keep speaking. Speaking until you master the art of refuting fallacy. Speaking until your passion smashes into your reality. Speaking for your survival. Speaking for your health. Keep speaking. This speaking is self-help.
You are really interested in motivating people to reach their highest level. Why is that important to you?
I think that goes back to personally feeling like I wasn't worthy, feeling like I didn't have value, and then being able to find out that that just wasn't true. That I am important, that I am someone that is necessary to be here. So for me, it's about speaking about that, and hopefully somebody, because I know there are lots of people who feel that way, young and old, that somebody can maybe feel inspired and motivated to find the value within themselves.
But can anyone tell me which came first, the word or the voice? Or were both so simultaneously necessary, the priority of the existence defied choice? Or maybe our creator knew if we could not squeeze these pains through vocal cords, we could choke. Not from the unforeseen things that occur and disappoint, but from suppressing words that sometimes only in our minds get spoke. These spoken words confirm that though there is darkness, you are not alone. That means that there is hope.
We talked about how important it is to stay positive, to keep that frame of mind. So what are some of the things that you do to stay positive?
Well, one thing that I do on a daily basis, because it's about being intentional about being positive. It's a decision that you make.
Right.
And so affirming yourself every day is really important. For me, it's really important, especially because with the writing, you get really vulnerable and you open up stuff, and sometimes you start to doubt, like, well, I've had all this stuff happen to me, or maybe I'm not important. And the affirmations just let you know it's a reminder to self, that you are.
Okay, and what are some of those?
More recently, I say to myself, I'm confident, I'm capable, my presence enriches the lives of others. My voice is important, and I exist for a reason greater than any struggle. Say those to myself over and over again throughout the day, and it keeps me focused on the positive.
And you have a book, Testimony.
Yep.
Tell me about that.
It's really an intimate piece. It's my very first self-published chapbook. And I've been told it's a lot more personal than what you would expect from someone putting out something for their first time. I really went into my personal life as far as losing my father 4 years ago, losing my grandmother 6 years ago, two very, very important people to me, and what I've learned from dealing with that grief. And I'm also kind of going through just things that I've experienced, the bullying, but really what I want people to take from the book, even if you can't relate to every poem, which is fine, is just the need to be open. The need to be vulnerable and to talk about your stuff. Talk about it and get it out. Don't hold it in, don't push it down. I've been doing that for 30 years of my life, and it doesn't do anybody any good. Get it out there. So finally, I have that out there, and there's still more to be said though. So if you want to go along with me.
I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm ready.
okay. So it's really just as simple as, and I suggest, writing it down, taking a picture of it, put it on your phone.
On your mirror?
On your mirror, on your front door, wherever, So just repeat after me.
Okay.
I am confident.
I am confident.
I am capable.
I am capable.
My presence enriches the lives of others.
My presence enriches the lives of others.
My voice is important.
My voice is important.
And I exist for a reason that's greater than any struggle.
And I exist for a reason that's greater than any struggle.
There it is.
I like that. You feel powerful when you're saying those words.
Yes, that's what it's there
If
for.
nobody's talking those words over you, talk them over yourself, right?
Exactly.
I like that.
So keep writing poetry bred from broken homes, meant for microphones. These words that come from broken hearts, played for laughs and one-night bones. These words wise and heavy with struggle do not belong in little notebooks and tucked in tongues, stuck in safe places. These words should not be limited to simply shower recitations. Make public your passionately prophetic proclamations. You never know whose life you might be saving.
Michael Kifer is known for his unique pottery and the vibrant colors he's been incorporating into his work over the years. You may have seen him at the Signature Artists Annual Holiday Sale or maybe teaching a class. Let's learn more about his process now.
So Michael, what is your art form?
I'm a ceramic artist. I think of the clay more of as a canvas than I do as a pot. It's always been that way. I started as a painter and made the transition into clay while I was still in school, and then went to an apprenticeship.
And on the website, you have a sign you're holding that says, "Art is fun."
That's the way I think of art. I think it should be. I think that some people can explain, what their art is, and I've always been more of a visual person and thought if art was fun and you liked it and it was nice to look at, that was the important part for me. So I use this. This is a tool that has patterns. Yeah, and it's a dowel. And so what I use to do with this is take this.
Oh man, beautiful.
And then I have a pattern like that. And what I do is lay it down and take my handle maker, which is ominous, but I'm doing it on about there. And I would roll this up until it meets. And then I would take my tool and cut that. Again, this is the speeded up TV version.
Is this tool specifically for this?
Yes. Yeah, it's called a handle maker. This is a business end of a pencil sharpener.
Right.
Yeah. And I use that to seal the pieces and leave another texture.
I was wondering how you were going to do that.
Yep.
Make that look all pretty.
But then that would be the handle, the top, and the spout.
Yeah. Your art is very, the pottery is very vibrant, the colors are really bright. When did you first become attracted to pottery? What was it about pottery?
It was the media first, it wasn't the color, and then I made the transition to a temperature in pottery that's called low fire, and that was a way of getting the color, and I've always loved the color. I've always loved things that were brighter, fiesta ware, and those kind of pieces have always intrigued me, and I do still like things that are brown, but I find that my work is more about color.
When you decide that you're going to create a piece, where does the inspiration come? Like, how does the whole process begin?
I think if you are visual, which I see myself as, is it comes from a lot of different places, and I think it's not just a source. I think it's a combination of sources that you combine to create one piece. And that's done in a sketchbook for me.
And you talked also about maybe going through some magazines as well, right?
Yeah, I like fashion magazines because of the color, and I think that also inspires me to come up with ideas for the forms to put them on. And then this part of the material, I do a finished technique called metallic patina. And that is a non-fired material. It is similar to shoe polish. in consistency. But that's what gives it that unusual sort of metallic look.
Yeah, well, that's what I was telling you when I was on your website looking at the beautiful art pieces. I'm thinking, is there some way that he fused like a metal handle to this or something? Because it really did look like metal. How important is it for artists to have a relationship within the community that they live?
For a lot of us, it's very important because we work alone, and I think for us that is the professional camaraderie that we need. There are certain artists that I know that really aren't part of any group, and I'm not sure why that is, but I think that there's a lot of strength that comes from that. Here's another one. You'll love that one. Put your hand right on the top of it.
Like that?
And just roll. Yep. Keep going. There you go. And you can move your hand again.
Oh, wow, that's so beautiful.
Okay, and that's the pattern. And then,
oh, that's so beautiful.
And then this should be able to be, you can lift it right up and see it.
That's beautiful. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that looks kind of almost Victorian, like
scrolly. Yeah. And this these actually remind me of computer boards.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
This is a starburst and that, yeah. So I have a lot of tools that I use for texturing, including something as simple as a pencil sharpener.
Wow.
See how much fun clay is?
Oh, yeah.
And then you just listen to music and you're all set.
You're lost. I bet hours go by, right?
That's why I come to work every day. It is. There's no reason
You
not
probably
to.
come down here when it's light out and leave when it's dark.
Yeah, I do. And even sometimes in the middle of the night I'm working.
Yeah, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. It's a peaceful place. Creating art, like you said, art is fun.
It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should enjoy it.
My piece. So Michael, when you create your pieces, are they created to be functional, artistic?
I create them more as visual and as presentation pieces, serving things that are collectible. I find that to be more my function in the clay world than to do functional casseroles.
Well, Michael, I wanted to thank you so much for inviting me into your gorgeous studio where all the magic is made here in Richland, and you're living the dream, man. You're living the dream.
It is a lot easier than driving to work.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Kalamazoo Lively Arts. Next week, we'll meet new artists and take a peek into Kalamazoo artists participating in the largest art competition in the world, Art Prize. We leave you tonight with a spoken word performance from Dana Great Dane Hudson at Stella's for their Monday night open mic event, The Drunken Retort. I'm John Koch. Have a great night.
Daily, I'm grateful for the time allowed for my life to thrive, so I strive to turn the turn up into a revolution. Because if you ain't living liberated, you just buying your time until you die. But why would you or I ever decide that dying is a solution when we're alive to fight right now? You see, those thoughts infiltrate and occupy the tiny gaps within our minds, piling up like pollution, seeping up and swallowing the ground. Those thieving thoughts steal smiles, turning them upside down, leaving us craving love's acceptance. We turn up the sound with screams and shouts, then we breathe in and out. Reminded that the response to frustration need not always be loud. When your silence is laced with deep meditation, you become embraced with powerful sensations of ancestral vibrations. So you gotta stay in love with the now. I stay in love with the now. From sunset to sunrise, the darkness is necessary time for rejuvenation and spiritual exhalation. It keeps me in love with the wild, the amazing, the magnificent. Perfect time for conversations with pride and patience. Sometimes you are the only light you need to light the path that leads to the manifestation of your destiny. As there will be times when your light flickers so dimly that you cannot see your way. and you get lost in an over-exaggeration of uncertainty, screaming to God the Father you never really knew for just a taste of normalcy, consistency, the reciprocity of empathy. But no one told you it would be so scarce. So you wish your innocence had died at birth. Rare to meet compassion, even on a Sunday, sitting hollow vessel in the church. So praise the Lord, yes, praise the sun, the moon, and the earth, for we are they and they are we. We carry in our minds the universe. The energy fueling our flesh is both the last and the first of its kind, so never mind what hate may come your way. You got work to do. We all got work to do. Let's get after it today. Thank y'all.
Support for Kalamazoo Lively Arts is provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation, helping to build and enrich the cultural life of Greater Kalamazoo.